Good morning, good morning. On the 191 Utah, south of Moab. That's why it looks so pretty out here. A little bit hazy from those fires, but not too bad. So we are running this one down to the wire. I left Kingman, Arizona, and this load goes to Fort Collins, Colorado. But I was doing my hours, because you're only allowed to work 70 hours in a week, and I thought I was gaining some hours, but apparently I wasn't. I don't gain any hours till tomorrow. Recap hours. So, needless to say, when I left Kingman, Arizona yesterday, there's two ways to go. One was go up north to Vegas, take 15 to 70 over that way. The other is to go 40 east to Flagstaff, then up to 93 through Tuba City and Cayenta. Went through there last night. I chose that route. I had 9 hours left, and it said 9 hours and 3 minutes. And I'm like, well, it looks like I'm going to be violating a little tiny bit, and I'm just going to suck it up. Like, I was 5 minutes away, so yeah, I had to violate to get to the truck stop. Excuse me. But it looks like we might be making it, barely. I had 2 hours and 52 minutes. I did a 4-minute pre-trip, because that's my driving time is fading away. This is the Wilson Arch right here to the right. You can't really see it because of the angle of the dangle. I've gotten it before on other videos. So it left me with 2 hours and 48 minutes left to get to Grand Junction. Now, it said 2 hours and 20 minutes, or 25 minutes, basically 2.5 hours to go from Monticello, Utah to the TA Express there in Grand Junction, exit 26. But I got to go through Moab here. It is Saturday, so there's going to be some traffic. But I got a 20-minute window roughly. But we could get up there on I-70, and right there we're between Crescent Junction and Thompson Springs. Crescent Junction being the Moab turnoff. It's like a 5-mile stretch. In the middle there is temporary scales. They've been doing a crackdown this week. And I've been pretty lucky. Been through Vegas, north of Vegas had one, and they had a lot of cops there, and they had a lot of trucks inside, and it's just the luck of the draw whether you get through or not with them. If they got an opening, the next truck comes in, you're going in. And I already knew I was on a tight window because I thought I was getting back like 1.5 hours and then 6 hours, which would have enabled me to still run pretty much all day long. That didn't happen. I don't know why. I have to go back and review that. It's not hard. You have 8 days, and you can only work 70 hours in those 8 days. So if you come up with 50 hours, you can still drive another 20. Not in one day, of course. I'm just saying your overall weekly 70-hour rule. So I already knew I was on a tight schedule there. Had to get to Kingman, unload the beer, and then go load up what I have as vents. And then another thing I was hoping for too was a light load. We have a 12,000 pound load. We were 40,000 pound going out. So it slows you down on those hills and stuff. Like when I say it takes you 4.5 hours to go from Grand Junction to Denver heavy and 4 hours light. That's what I mean. A light load you can zip it 4 hours, and a heavy load like beer is going to take you an extra half hour. But I knew it was going to be tight. And I was thinking, Selena, the new dispatcher at work, was like, well, you could probably just do a 34 right now, and then you'll be able to get back here in time for this load. And I'm like, well, usually Wendy will have us drop it and have a local guy do the delivery. Which I haven't talked to her today and find out if that's what she wants to do. It's called splitting the load. But OTR drivers usually take it back to the yard and have a local guy deliver it. We get another long run, turn around and leave. That's kind of what I'm looking for, but I have a doctor's appointment with a specialist on the 2nd. Day after my birthday. I'm actually going to see the orthopedic surgeon who did the hardware work on my legs. All the steel work. He's the one that rebuilt it. I'm like, why didn't you just cut it off? I thought I lost it. Well, it was a challenge, and I had a good night's sleep. We got these new plates. I could always cut it off later. I guess now I'm glad he did, but it does hinder me a bit. A lot of times I used to say the phantom pain would be better than the actual pain. I don't know that for sure because I never felt phantom pain, but anyway, it's a whole other story. I think he deals with joint pains and stuff like that, so he's gonna get. It's been 22 years since he saw me, 21 maybe. He told me I was gonna need a new knee in 10 years, and it's been 22, and I'm still doing fine. I don't have the pain anymore since I took that prednisone. I've been also taking that moringa powder. I don't know if he's my arthritis specialist I'm supposed to see or not, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to go see him on the 2nd. That's Tuesday. Wednesday. It's Wednesday. My day's kind of mixed up. But then we will, hopefully I'll find something out then. Whether or not it's rheumatoid arthritis or not. But I have been feeling a lot better. 100% better. Well, 99. Somebody wrecked here pretty good. Too busy looking at the rocks, not paying attention to the highway, and crash, boom, bang. wasn't really planning on filming today. I was trying to just beeline it to Grand Junction. But as I was cruising along, I'm like, man, it's the way the sun's setting, the time of the day, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. It would be different if the sun was setting versus rising. What did I do? Say setting first time? Yeah, if it was setting, it'd be a whole different look. So I was cruising along. I'm like, man, this is like filmage material. You know, break out the hardware. I thought my doctor's appointment was on Tuesday, but I think it's Wednesday. Just kind of messed me up a little bit. So I'll talk to Wendy today and see what she says about me making this load or having a local guy do it. I suppose I could do it no matter what. I would just have to leave tomorrow, and then there's a hole in the rock. Leave tomorrow afternoon. Go up there and deliver this Monday, bring it back, and then take some time. Take the rest of the Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. Go back to work Wednesday. Get my 34-hour reset in. I do get hours back tomorrow, so I don't know. We'll kind of see what's going on. It'd be nice to be able to drive my car for a little bit. It's been a minute or two since I've driven it. I have the old Caddy, which I gave to my son, but he gets out of the military on the 8th of October. So first, when I get back in town, if I don't need my car, but before I would just go with my scooter, go get, if I needed my car, and go get it. Well, now I can make little errands in his car. I haven't driven the V in a while, but we're going to first part of next week. Maybe I could get some film in with that. That reminds me too, I should call it a tax ban. I still need to do my taxes. I did file an extension. Because they had they extended it to the COVID thing. But during that time, nothing was open because of the COVID thing. What a pain in the butt that thing has been. Some people get it, they don't even know they have it. A lot of it's like cold symptoms. If you're vulnerable and you have underlying health conditions, then absolutely wear a mask and all that stuff. And stay away from people. That's what I'd probably do. But I'm of the mind that if that's what takes me out, that's what takes me out. I'm not going to live in fear. But you know, people die from the flu every year. Every year, thousands of people die from the flu. I know I've had the flu a few times. I felt like dying. Wished I would have died. Like, this is killing me. Get it over with. More sarcastic thinking and speaking than actuality, but kind of get my drift. I've trucked all over the country with this COVID thing. Doing my normal thing like I normally do. And I didn't catch anything, knock on wood. Other than that arthritis thing, like I told my doctor, I go, I think it's from when I had my accident. It laid the foundation and just waited for it to be built when I got old enough. You dumb, brother. Here's another gift. Y'all know how it is when you get, well, not everybody, but most of us older folks. When you get older, the ills just keep coming. Like, what the heck? I remember being young, I got indestructible and flag, yes sir. My daughter, my youngest daughter Sarah, they just moved into a house. They're trying to plant grass in the back, but they didn't buy the house, but they're thinking about it. There's a lot of dirt back there. My grandson Roman, he's just like, he goes out there and just takes dirt, pours it over his head. I'm like, good. You know, let him eat dirt. That'll build his immune system. That's what happened to me when I was a kid. We'd go outside and play all the time when we were out in the elements, building our immune system. I might add, I had a pretty wicked immune system. Still do. I don't know. I think it's getting taxed a bit, but getting a little breezy too here. We're at 12,000 pounds. We're not too bad. It would be considered a light load in the Wyoming shutdown. That's 20,000 pounds or lighter. They consider a light trailer when they road closed to light, high-profile vehicles. Now, you can go through it, but if you do, and you flip over, you get in trouble. One time I did that. I had an empty reefer. Wamsutter. Was that Wamsutter or I think I was in Rawlins. No, I was in Wamsutter. Took a McLean trailer out there loaded, and the other McLean driver showed up with his empty. We swapped, and we take the empties back to Denver. The service we provided to McLean distribution. Anyway, we haven't done that in a long time. I don't think we do it anymore, but it was a Saturday. They go, hey, can you run this up there? I'm like, yeah, I'll still be able to get back in time, do what I had planned for the weekend, get a 34 in, be ready to go back to work Monday. So yeah, I'll do that. Run up there, boom, swap out in the morning to run and come right back. I start to come back. I-80 closed to light, high-profile vehicles. And I'm like, man, I'm empty. But I am heavier than like a dry van, because the dry van is there's nothing to it. Whereas a reefer, you have aluminum floor, a big old reefer unit, more packing on the sides. They're just a heavier trailer. But it was still empty. And that's considered light, high-profile vehicle. So I'm like looking at the direction of the wind. It's coming right at me. In other words, it's coming from the east. I'm going eastbound. I'm like, it's a headwind. Okay, so one thing about Wyoming, you can go down and you can look at their website, you get into the numbers. You can go into camera views, and in each section of the mile marker sections, you can go in there and look at the actual wind and look at the gusts and see what it's actually doing in real time. I mean, 5-10 minutes roughly. So I thought about, well, maybe 80's closed, I could go down through around Elk Mountain. I can't get to Laramie, so it would have to be the east side of Elk Mountain. But then again, that wind, I'd be heading south, that wind would be blowing from the east. It's a direct side impact. So I studied and studied and studied that, and I decided I'm going to go for it. Mind you, I just didn't blindly do this. I looked at all the numbers. I looked at everything. And did I break the law? I guess I did. Nothing happened, but I didn't have any issues at all. It was a headwind, and a few times on the sides here and there, but I was able to get next to other truckers who were all heavy and got through that with no problem. And that's a scary thing. I mean, you're doing something you're told not to do. But then again, I looked at everything. I looked at the wind gusts, the numbers. I sat there for a half hour studying that and fixing to take my medicine. If I made the wrong decision, a lot of people are probably sitting there saying right now, I made the wrong decision. But I got through it with no problem. There was absolutely no issues. Sometimes they put up these things. It's a blanket. Oh, it's windy over here. Okay, everything is shut down. Just as a precaution. A lot of times that's why I do I-70 versus 80, because very rarely do they shut I-70 down. They never used to, but they do now. Now that California has taken over our political scene, they're starting to shut the highway down. I was coming from Grand Junction to Denver, and the sign said, Vail Pass closed. Park at Dot Cerro. I'm like, no. I've been driving this highway for years. I got chains, and I'm coming through. And I was just going to tell him, man, I didn't see the sign. I was over here, and now I'm here. So I go up, and there they are at Vail. And I knew it was for a storm. It wasn't like closed for an accident. And there they are taking everybody off the highway. Officers sitting on there with cones and telling everybody to get off. And I come up there, and I was going to ask him, like, hey, can I put chains on and go over that mountain? And I didn't get a chance to, because he pulled a cone away and waved me right through. So I get over there to the chain station. There's everybody chaining up. I put my chains on and went boom, right up and over that mountain. I mean, Grand County, this is the same place I'm from. This is Grand County, Utah. I'm from Grand County, Colorado. So yeah, I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. I mean, I do. I look at it. If it's closed, it's closed. There's nothing I can do about it. But I'm starting to do that now. I noticed that last year or two. They're starting to close I-70. And granted, there's times when they did it last year that should have been closed. Absolutely nasty up there. Like I did feel like they did the same thing with this COVID, You look at South Dakota, they didn't shut down at all. Now you got these liberal reporters starting to say that, super spreaders from Sturgis Rally. I mean, I don't know. It's all fear mongering. Granted, it is a disease. I absolutely know 100% fact that it is. But they didn't need to shut down the economy. I said they're going to have a cure for COVID on November 4th. Coming into Moab from the south. I was telling my daughter Marilyn we should come out here and go to the Arches National Park. It's only an hour and a half from Grand Junction. You know, these truckers, they just, look at that, he just pulled right in front of him. He's in the median. He could have waited. Smooth move, X-Lax. I get that a lot of times. They'll be sitting on the side of the freeway and on the shoulder, and instead of start rolling to get your speed built up a little bit, they make a hard left-hand turn, get straight in the lane, and then proceed to accelerate. Now they do that to me a lot too. You're coming up on a hill, and one guy's doing half a mile an hour slower than the guy in front of him, and I'm doing 10 miles an hour faster. And I'm in the hammer lane, and I'm coming up, and then that's last second, boom, turn right out in front of me. Make me hit the brakes. If they would have let their foot up off the throttle for 3 seconds, it would have took them the rest of the hill to get back to where they were. The town of Moab. Pretty quiet for a summer day. Saturday. Squeaky brakes. So I saw a little news clip on YouTube this morning. I was making coffee, listening to the news. I listened to different. I mean, I even watch news channels from Australia. Why'd you go get in front of me and do this, minivan? So he pulled in front of me and hit his brakes. I get my news from all over the place, and I research it. I like to deal with those Covington kids, and I'm like, well, why would they do something like that? I can't imagine it. So I started looking at different, more and more angles and video of myself, and I'm like, wait a minute. They didn't do anything these guys are saying they did. It's a total spin. That's what it was, a spin. From the spin doctors. Same thing with this Jake Blake, or wherever this guy is. He's a rapist. Wanted on felony warrants. Was attacking his girlfriend. He took the keys away. He wasn't listening to him. But they make it sound like, oh yeah, the cops just shot him because he's black. Not the case. This is where I was hoping I didn't have any issues. Time-wise, because I knew it was going to slow me down a little bit in here. But I don't think it's enough to keep me from making my destination. I think they took away, they're going to be taking away our parking. It's not our parking, but I had spots up here. When you're trying to maximize your clock. Like I would like to have last night, I would like to have gone all the way to Grand Junction, but I couldn't because I ran out of my 14. But we used to be able to park right in front of this hotel here on the shoulder. Of course, they're already doing it and we won't be able to do it no more. It was just a big dirt lot. So there was no problem, but they took it away. Well, I had 42 minutes left last night. I needed 55 to get here. But I also knew there's no parking. So I just stayed in Monticello. Hold up the light. Skydive Moab. Must be at the airport outside of town here. Moab Springs Ranch. I assume there's hot springs in there. I like getting behind these RVers, especially if they're towing something. They do not move very fast. I understand they're on a holiday, but you're not on a holiday when you're on the highway. Get it moving along. Coming up on the Colorado River. You can actually cruise along the Colorado River here, come out by Cisco, get up to I-70 east of here, by turning right here. You just can't do it in a semi. Which kind of bites. So we get a little glimpse of the Colorado. Looks nice and clear there. Behind Mike the choked chicken. He's still hanging out with us. Yeah, being light will help us to get make it back home, because like I said, I'm out of hours. I have an hour and 51 minutes. I just started my day pert near an hour ago. And it makes me thankful for all the time management that I do during the week. Because at the end, if you're trying to get home and you are lax about your time management, you could be hurting. I mean, if we run out of time up here at Crescent Junction, I would be upset. I'd have to wait till tomorrow just to go 50 miles. I mean, that's 70 miles. Arches National Park. And I told her I'd like to do that. It was Sunday, nothing to do, go out to breakfast and hop in the whip and come on down here and take a tour, automobile tour. Glad to see it's not closed. I like to see that guy's got his extensions on his mirrors. A lot of times these RVers, you can't see their mirrors, which means they can't see you. I think they should get a ticket for that. They probably do. It's just probably not brought up enough. I see that a lot. You can't see their mirrors, meaning they can't see you, and so that's why you'll have 50 cars behind them. This guy's over here flashing at me to get back in my right-hand lane. And I will. There's nobody behind me. I'll just give it a little bit more time. I don't like to pull right in front of people. He might be thinking he's gonna drift behind us, huh? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. 85, balmy. Road's a little bit rough, kind of throws you all over the place when you're light. Of course, these Volvos do that anyway. They're a wobbly truck. It doesn't help when you have a road that has all these little different elevations. This patchwork they do is, I don't know why they do it, it's half-assed. And why don't they just do the whole lane? They're doing this section. See how it's all scattered? A lot of it's wear, but still, that's I wouldn't sign off on this. There's got to be state workers. This crap, look how bad that job is. Be proud of that. I was working for CDOT. I was running a fence on the shoulder of the highway. And I had to put all the posts in. It was a new fencing. I've never done fencing before. But it's not hard. Gave my measurements, went out there and started doing it. The M2, one of the big bosses, came out and checked on me. How's it going? And pretty good. Having fun out here. He looked down the line of the posts, and he's like, "Holy crap!" Like, did I mess up? He goes, "No, these are all like, you've got them exactly in a line." I'm like, oh, thanks. And I would just eye them. And then I would get, after I'd get a few, if I saw one, 3 or 4 back that was a little bit out, I'd go in there and straighten it back up. You know, but it was one nice straight line. I told my kids, if you're going to do something, do it right, or don't even do it at all. The reason I said state workers, because I've worked with them boys for a while. They would literally hide, lay down, take a cigarette break like all day long. I did enough work by myself to cover them, which is kind of whacked. But I'm going to move over here. Look at all the tire marks on the highway there. Well, we'll call this video good. I'm talking like I haven't said nothing in a couple of minutes. But I haven't actually done any really videos. I'll always keep making them. Still have a bunch. I put up one last night. It was a month and a half old, almost 2 months old. I got a few more I need to get up. And then get this one up. So thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Hope you enjoyed the scenery as much as I did. Until the next time, enjoy. Peace. Be stuck behind this guy for a while. See ya.